Tears and triumph. Princess Leonor's emotional moment with Prince Christian leaves Spain speechless, crying crown. It began like any other royal gathering. The bright lights of Madrid Palace, the echo of violin strings, and the world's cameras waiting for another perfect moment from Europe's young royals. But what happened next no one expected. A single look, a tear, and a gesture that would leave Spain breathless. Princess Leonor, Spain's future queen, was standing beside Prince Christian of Denmark. For months, whispers had followed them, royal friendship or something deeper. And tonight, under the glow of chandeliers and centuries of tradition, the truth finally broke through. When Leonor turned to him, her eyes shimmered, not with formality, but emotion. And in that second, as the orchestra slowed, she reached for his hand. The hall fell silent. Even King Felipe looked momentarily frozen. Cameras flashed, capturing what might be remembered as one of the most intimate public moments in royal history. But what led to this? Why did this emotional exchange hit so deeply, not just for Spain, but for Europe? To understand, we must go back months earlier, when Princess Leonor was still balancing her military training in Zaragoza and her royal duties as heir to the Spanish throne. The pressure was immense. Every gesture, every word analyzed. Yet behind the discipline, Leonor carried a quiet resilience, a rare strength shaped by both duty and heart. And somewhere amidst that structure, came Prince Christian. Their paths crossed during state visits, royal events, and the kind of gatherings few outsiders ever witness. What began as friendship soon deepened into mutual admiration. Two young royals, both heirs to their nations, sharing the same burdens, the same expectations, the same longing for authenticity in a world scripted by protocol. Behind palace doors, letters were exchanged, meetings quietly arranged. The connection grew, though both understood the stakes. A relationship between heirs from Spain and Denmark. It could unite royal houses, or ignite controversy across Europe. Still, the heart rarely follows royal schedules. Insiders reveal that the emotional moment witnessed in Madrid was not accidental. It was the culmination of months of private tension and courage. For weeks, Leonor had faced criticism from conservative circles who believed her growing independence was unbecoming of a future queen. Yet in Christian, she found understanding, even strength. When he flew quietly to Madrid for the cultural gala, under the guise of representing Denmark, few knew what was coming. But Leonor did. She had personally requested his attendance, and the Queen Letizia herself reportedly supported it. What no one anticipated was how emotional the evening would become. As Leonor delivered her speech, a heartfelt message about unity, responsibility, and love for Spain, her voice cracked. For a moment, she hesitated. Christian, sitting in the second row, rose subtly, his gaze fixed on her. The audience noticed. Cameras turned. And when she stepped down, he approached, gently taking her hand in both of his. The gesture lasted less than 5 seconds, yet in those seconds, every newspaper headline was written. The daughter of Spain's king, the symbol of royal restraint, had allowed her heart to show. Across Spain, social media exploded. Leonor cried, but it was strength, not weakness, one user wrote. Others hailed it as the moment Spain fell in love with its future queen all over again. Even abroad, British and Danish tabloids ran front-page stories. But beyond the spectacle, those close to the royal families say the moment carried deeper meaning. Leonor's tears were not just about emotion, they were about responsibility. In her own words, spoken later in private to her close aides, she said, "Sometimes, duty and heart do not compete, they complete each other." It was a statement that sent ripples through the royal institution itself. For King Felipe, it was said to be both moving and bittersweet. He, too, knows the cost of love under a crown. Watching his daughter display raw emotion on a world stage reminded him of his early days with Queen Letizia, and the scrutiny they endured. But unlike then, he chose silence, neither approval nor disapproval, just quiet reflection. Queen Letizia, however, was seen dabbing her eyes during the gala. Insiders claim she whispered to a close aide, "She's ready, not just to serve, but to feel." In Denmark, the royal household reportedly took a careful but respectful tone. Prince Christian's gesture was described as a moment of humanity and support between two young leaders. Yet even there, behind the scenes, advisors discussed what such a bond could mean politically and diplomatically. Could Europe see the merging of two royal futures? Could the heir of Spain and the heir of Denmark truly stand together, as partners, not just peers? For now, both palaces remain silent. No confirmation, no denial. But silence, in royal circles, often speaks louder than words. Meanwhile, public admiration for Princess Leonor continues to surge. Many Spaniards see her not just as a future monarch, but as a symbol of change, someone unafraid to be human in a world of restraint. Her ability to show vulnerability while maintaining poise has reshaped how the nation views royalty. Behind closed doors, friends say Leonor has become more reflective, more mature. She has embraced her royal path but also guards her heart carefully. And yes, Prince Christian remains a quiet part of her story, distant yet present, respectful of her duties but deeply connected to her journey. Weeks after the emotional gala, Leonor returned to Zaragoza to resume training. Her fellow cadets noticed a difference, a quiet confidence, a softness behind her discipline. One colleague remarked, "She smiles more now. There's peace in her eyes." Perhaps that's the greatest triumph of all, not defiance, not rebellion, but balance. Tears and triumph. Spain, a nation accustomed to centuries of tradition, witnessed something rare, a princess who leads with both heart and honor. And as Europe watches, one question remains: will history remember this as the night Princess Leonor showed her heart, or the night two royal destinies quietly began to intertwine? Because sometimes, history doesn't happen in speeches or coronations, it happens in moments of silence, in glances, in tears that carry truth. Princess Leonor and Prince Christian may never speak publicly about that night. They don't need to. The world already heard everything, in the quiet between two hearts beating beneath crowns. And in that quiet, Spain found its future queen, not just in power, but in love.